Hello, I'm Kit, your friendly feminist cat lady spinster, and welcome to the third day of Tradmas. The 12 Days of Tradmas is a series looking at people in the trad or traditional movement. And for day 3, we're going to discuss Patriarchal Phenomenon. I have no idea how I found out about their Instagram, but per their bio, they are a community in the patriarchal fight against feminism and the patriarchal fight for masculine men and feminine women. They have a little cross, a king, queen, 2 cross swords, and I'm thinking the other emoji is supposed to represent the Deus Vault shield. So they have a lot of opinions about pretty much everything. There's so much here. I have no idea where to begin. So they have a lot of images and a few guides. Maybe I'll say the guides for last. They're kind of long. Let's start with their anti-feminism takes. Don't expect respect. That's a fun phrase. Don't expect respect as a woman when you don't act like one. See, this is just really weird to me because, as I mentioned in my Make Women Great Again video, why is a man the one who gets to decide what's feminine? And also, if you think you're behaving in the manner this man wants you to and he disagrees, that means he doesn't have to respect you? You should just give all people a blanket courtesy. Feminists lack good father, good brother, good husband, and good male presence. That's why they always debase manhood. Yeah, being a feminist doesn't mean you hate men. That's what it was. It was Biblical Femininity Boot Camp, and she said that by saying you shouldn't defer to a man, feminists were debasing a man. No. Conserve and preserve traditional family. Marry a traditional man or woman. Embrace religion and religious texts. Raise kids according to their gender archetypes. Follow biblical hierarchy in the family. Our future depends on it. So this is, very, very common in the trad movement. You gotta marry a traditional person, be religious, raise kids, blah, blah, blah. But I find it very interesting because they use the MGTOW hashtag. Do they not know what MGTOW stands for? Or are they trying to be like, hey, if you don't go your own way and you marry a traditional woman, you will get to be her leader? Why families are now considered toxic. A biblical family puts God first, family second, and government last. Who puts government first? Who puts government at all in their hierarchy of, hierarchy of anything? Husbands are dominant according to the biblical hierarchy. Feminists hate this. Yes, because we believe no person should be dominant over another person. Families don't encourage societal stupidities in their children. I would love for clarification on what these societal stupidities are. A traditional family is a threat to corporate food networks as the family thrives on the housewife's nutritious cooking. Okay, but unless that housewife grew her own food, which is of course a possibility, she's still buying that food from a grocery store. Patriarchal advice. If he can, she can't. And if she can, he can't. If both the genders can, then why do we need 2 genders? We need men to start families and women to give birth to their husbands' children. Hence, gender roles are important. Okay, this is really weird. So are you saying that if he can cook, she can't? If she can clean, he can't? This makes no sense the longer I stare at it. Raise boys and girls in their own gender archetypical way. Never raise them the same way. Boys and girls are different. Boys should be masculine and girls feminine. Bloody feminists want the opposite. No, we just want people to be treated like people instead of being told they have to be X, Y, and Z because of their sex. Man says, will you marry me? Woman says, yes, but I don't know how to cook, clean, iron, or wash. Man says, then learn it, because a wife who doesn't know how to cook and keep the house is like a man who doesn't know how to fix things. Later they lived happily ever after. I've never had the need to iron anything, but how do you not know, male or female, these basic life skills? And why is it for a woman only to know these things? I'm so confused because do they expect a man living alone to never cook, clean, or do laundry? Or do they think a man should live at home with his parents and have his mother do all those things until he gets married? It's a fact that men don't cry, but they do shed tears. They only cry when it is grievous and serious. The new society is trying to fake belief that men do cry like women. Women are designed with emotions as core, so women do cry often, whereas men are designed with endurance as core, so the amount of crying will be certainly less compared to women. It is a fact. Yeah, I'm going to need a source for that fact, and also stop shaming people for having emotions. It is fine to cry, male or female, it does not matter. Men, don't ever break stereotypes. Be manly, be rough and tough, be dominant, be aggressive, be protective, be a provider, be in love with machines, be in a relationship with a woman. So you should love machines, but be in a relationship with a woman. Right. Okay. I do love how their page keeps using the MGTOW hashtag to encourage relationships. And another, don't break stereotypes. When stereotypes are broken, there will be none to do men's job and women can't do it. Also, there will be none to do women's job and men can't do it. So, breaking stereotype is stupidity. Do they seriously think that 100, 1,000, however long ago, people living in caves and all that seriously abided by gender stereotypes? Even if you never before in your life felt the urge to cook over an open fire, if society collapsed and you had to figure it out, you would do your best to figure it out, whether you were a man or a woman, because survival is important to all humans. This is so stupid. Kitchen, not a man's space. So let's say a man gets married and his wife dies or leaves him, and he believes in this archaic notion. Does he just starve? Or does he spend a ton of money ordering out because, the kitchen is not his space? If he walks in, his penis might fall off. There's only man and woman, male and female, he and she, his and her. Period. Gays and lesbians are just feminist made. It will lead towards degeneracy. If offended by this truth, please unfollow and block me. Thank you. Learn something new every day. I had no idea that feminists created gay people and lesbians. Oh, here we have one of his guides. Jobs to avoid in a woman while you seek her as a bride. Female journalist. It is a tiring job for the female gender and requires her attention 24/7. She will not be able to perform her household duties and take good care of her husband and family. Plus, it is a job where feminism is at its peak, so never marry a media-based woman. Female police/soldier. These women mentally assume and physically fake up being men. They will never be able to accept and embrace their femininity. Again, there will be no time for her to perform household chores. Starting to think he just wants a maid. Since such women are adapting to a male-only designed job, they will fail to satisfy as a deferential wife in marital life. Female lawyer/judge. They are dangerous, to be honest. A slight disagreement or duel, really? May lead to family court, and she may add on fake domestic abuse cases to win her part. One who knows the law is very adept in misusing the law. Besides, arguing and debating will make her more masculine than feminine. Professional artist. Such women will be more passionate towards art forms than serving her family. They are in a celebrity world, and family will be a burden. You will be known by your wife's name and fame. It's a shame. Did they mean to rhyme? Also, such women will have no time for household chores. They are really keen on those household chores. Boss babe/career woman. They assume they have conquered manhood by reaching this position. They view femininity as disgusting. They can never be a good wife. Many female divorcees are from this profession. Career woman is a profession. Boss babe is a profession. Okay. Feminism is a part of their meal. They have numerous disorders and can never be a happy female being. Fashion models. Such women sexually objectify themselves. Such women with low virtue are never worthy of marriage. She has been ogled at by many lusty men. She can never be a modest wife. She has already disrespected her body, and she will for sure disrespect her man. She has stripped herself for fame. She is a virtual slut. Avoid her. Any job with night shift. Night shift is not meant for women. She must be safe inside her house, serving her man and nurturing the children. She won't be there to serve you tea and dinner and also intimacy. This is restricting her wifely duties. She must be at home at least before sunset. So I guess intimacy can only happen at night then, under the cover of darkness. And another guidebook. What do men expect from their wife after marriage? A true masculine man will definitely expect these in his wife. And of course, sexual intimacy is the very first thing on the list. Sex is the lubrication to run married life without any friction. Just like women gaining fat after marriage, many wives refrain from sex after the birth of child. He married her to have sex with her. It is her onus to love him with limitless sex. By denying sex, She is insulting his manhood and tempting him to fornicate with other women. Most extramarital affairs begin when wives deny sex. So there you have it, ladies. If you deny sex, he will have an affair and it will be your fault. Household chores. Washing his clothes, ironing his shirts, folding dried clothes. Thanks for clarifying it's dried clothes. Cooking for him, keeping the home, and taking care of his children. His children? Are they not also hers? These are what men expect from their wife. Men don't want another gender who can do his role. What? Men don't want an equal partner similar to a roommate. When he marries a woman, he honestly expects and wants her to do the household chores without his compulsion. Be a good wife. 3. Change in surname. A woman before marriage is under her father's authority, so she has her father's name as her surname. Well, thank you for explaining that. After marriage, she is under her husband's authority, so she must replace her father's name with husband's name as her surname. By changing her surname, she's accepting her man's authority as a husband. This is also an act of love. Husbands love to see their name with their wife's name and love to hear her addressed with his name. 4. Good listener. A talkative man and a silent woman is the best pair. A wife should be a good listener to her man. He wants to share his adventure stories and expects her to reciprocate it with praises and cheers. Men are good storytellers but aren't good listeners. Nice excuse. He doesn't need his wife's approval or suggestions, but only her attention when he starts speaking. A man talking to his listening wife shows that he is interested in her, but when he is silent to his talkative wife, it indicates his disinterest in her. Okay, so there you are, ladies. Just be silent because he doesn't want to hear what you have to say. He doesn't want your approval, your suggestions. He just wants your praise and for you to cheer him on. 5. Adapt to his way. When a girl or a woman marries a man and moves to his home, from that moment, she is a wife and a member of her husband's family. She must adapt to the new routine and practices of that house, abide by the house's rules. There is no significance in who she was and how her lifestyles were. After marriage, she is known by her husband's name and fame. She must know his likes and dislikes and perform accordingly. This is what scares me off of marriage. 6. Preserving figure. To be honest, men dislike hanging out with their wife who has later gained weight. It is the wife's responsibility to maintain her pre-marriage figure. After birth, women do gain weight. Accepted. But some women loosely gain weight, being unaware of the fact that her man still admires her old beauty. Same women view post-married life as a license to gain weight, and they think that they have met their man and now they can be fat. Be how you were before marriage. I can see now why trads hate feminism. If a woman can support herself and make her own choices, why on earth would she get married if this is what she has to look forward to? Be a patriarch. Men, you are designed to be dominant and to lead. Be an alpha male and be a patriarch in this patriarchal world. So if it's a patriarchal world, then why are you so scared of feminism? A husband's kiss of dominance. When a husband kisses his wife this way, she closes her eyes and submits to his dominant love. And someone commented, let his lips touch her forehead in dominance and let her eyes close gently in submission. They really are the heroes in their own mind, aren't they? Discipline your wife. Obey your husband. Is your wife or your child? It is not advisable for women to hang out with other men after marriage in the name of platonic friendship. This insults your man's manhood and his authority over you. Besides, a masculine man will never allow his wife for this. After marriage, she should hang out only with her husband. What about female friends? Many liberals are against this because they are in desperate need of women to hang out with them. They follow the sin. It's a sin to have platonic friends of the opposite sex? That sure does seem made up. So they support it and criticize and shame those who are against it. And liberal women, if you hang out with other men after marriage and face any sexual harassment, face it on your own. Don't seek your husband's aid, because you are not worth it. So, is there something about marriage that will make any male friends you had before said marriage suddenly decide to harass you afterward? Virginity is what a good woman can gift her husband. What is reserved for your man must be preserved for him. Your virginity, nudity, and body is entitled only to your man. So yeah, take that to heart, ladies. Your body is only for your man. Even if you haven't met that man yet, it is only for him. And our last booklet, Problems Faced by Men in Today's Inverted Society. Majority of the schools have female teachers with a feminized or feminist mind. What is a feminist mind? Has this person ever considered why more women become teachers than men? I don't know what country they're in, but in the US, teaching isn't considered a high-status profession, nor is it a well or even adequately paid one. And also, teaching was one of the first, if not the first, professions considered appropriate for women. In fact, in one of this person's own posts, someone responded saying that if times got tough, teaching would be acceptable for their wife. They are not aware of the masculine behavior of young boys, so suppress them at a young age. Are they talking about the stereotype of boys being rowdier than girls? Are they suggesting that because it's their masculine behavior, boys should be allowed to disrupt a class? I'm all for more recess time in the lower grades and more break time in the upper, but kids in general need more play during school hours than they get. Colleges have subject topics on feminism and educate girls to be like men, but boys are not educated to become real men. Colleges have topics like women's studies because of attitudes like this. But regarding education, are they saying that talking about feminism educates girls to be like men? Anyway, I'm a little surprised they don't think that should be taught at home, but isn't gender something we're born with? And yet I keep hearing it has to be taught. In this day and age, we have useless women empowerment movies imitating masculinity and avoiding femininity. If you don't like them, don't watch them. Why are you watching movies you don't like? Just to complain about them? And if you're not a woman, who are you to say a movie about a woman being empowered is useless? And what defines a woman empowerment movie anyway? Does that mean a woman is a leading character? Does that mean the woman in the movie doesn't have like a husband or a male friend or something? Why do you consider them useless? Is it because they don't reinforce the gender roles you believe in? Movies always embrace toxic feminism but suppress pure masculinity in name of misogyny. And also, real feminine traits are always avoided because they believe it isn't powerful. So you should really avoid speaking in absolutes. Also, don't you consider all feminism toxic? That's certainly the impression I got from your page. And what do you consider real feminine traits? What is pure masculinity? Men have no protection in law. Rejection is accounted as fake cases by toxic women. That's one hell of a statement. Am I to understand rejection is accounted as fake cases by toxic women as if a man rejects a woman, she'll claim he, her? Toxic people do exist, but false accusations are a crime. Fathers don't have any custodial rights of their children. Fathers are considered as humans without any emotions and bonds. Obviously, I'm against gender roles, but this page posts about traditional gender roles, so I would have thought they would be all for something like the tender years doctrine. Men are not encouraged to ask dowry, but are obliged to give alimony. Still unfair. So you don't want women to work, but also don't want to give alimony. Or do you think a woman should just consider herself lucky that she was chosen for marriage, and if she wants a divorce for any reason, she should be punished? Alright, well, that was day 3 of Tradmas. I hope you enjoyed the video as much as possible considering the content, and I will see you tomorrow.